Call the meeting of Pasadena Independent School District Board of Trustees in regular session on Tuesday, January 21st, 2020 in the Boardroom or Administration Building, 1515 Cherry Brook, Pasadena, Texas at 5:30 p.m. Board members present, Mr. Jack Bailey, Mr. Kenneth Fernandez, Ms. Vicki Morgan, Ms. Fred Roberts, Ms. Nelda Sullivan, and myself, Marshall Kendrick. Ms. Kiana is out of town. Let the record indicate that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting is duly called, and that notice of this meeting was posted in accordance with Texas Open Meeting Act, Texas Government Code 55, Chapter 551. If you'll stand with us, the invocation will be given Mr. Bailey and the pledges by Mr. Roberts.
Bow for prayer. Lord Father, we just thank you for this day, Lord. We thank you for your many blessings. Lord, we thank you for this school district and the dedicated employees that work here every day and make it happen. Lord, we thank you for Deanne's healing. We pray for those in our district who have lost loved ones. We just pray that you be with them, guide and comfort them. Be with us tonight as a board as we transact business for the district, that we would have vision and wisdom. All this we ask in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
We'll have a policy update by Ms. Jody Cinnamon.
Good evening, board members. So tonight you will consider possible consideration and approval for update 114, which is the TASB prompted update following the 86th legislative session of the Texas legislature. That update had over 140 policies that were affected, with only 19 of those being local policies. So the vast majority, again, were legal policies and edits to those legal codes. The almost 20 local policies are outlined in the Update 114 packet, and if you've got any questions about any of that, then I'll be happy to take those. And then we are, as the administration, recommending additional edits to BED local that was contained in Update 114, just to add a little bit of clarifying language that those topics that anyone, we would have to have public comment for at every single meeting, including special called, is really for those open session items. And so we wanted to be specific there because oftentimes there are things that are on closed session that may not be on open session, and those are not required for us to have public comment on.
So not on hearings or anything like that?
Correct. Okay. I mean, to the extent that those action items are included as an open session, then they could potentially comment on the action, but they could not comment on the specific content of the hearing that would be discussed in closed session. And then what TASB recommended is that the board, we go to more of a bare bones BED local, and then that the board adopt kind of operating procedures as a BED exhibit that outline the specific process that we would follow in our specific rules in this district for public comment. And so those are the two things that are included in the local 2020.01 update. And so what I've tried to do is take all of the things that we talked about and then the changes that we made in August and just roll those into the exhibit that's included in that packet. And if you've got questions, then...
So, Jody, you're suggesting then, and I guess us, that we do have a defined set of rules or regulations that we're going to go by. It seemed like, as I read it, we could change them on the fly if we wanted to.
There are definitely provisions in there that says that the board and the board president can adjust those things as necessary to the extent that they're necessary in the meeting. What we are legally required to do now is that we cannot let anyone speak for less than 1 minute on a topic, right? And so we've adjusted our time schedules from 3 minutes to 1 minute, or it has the flexibility for the board president to do that if a large number of people sign up. With the new law that was passed, we can no longer make groups consolidate to one person. So that's why we're kind of playing with some of those time limits for public comment. And what we found out is that most districts, most large districts especially, use 3 minutes as their standard speaking time. And so what BED Exhibit does is it lays out, in general, this is the decorum and these are the rules that the board will follow for public comment, but it does recognize that the board president can adjust those. Just like it says for regular meetings, we're still going to allow comments on topics that aren't listed on the agenda, just like we've always done, but that those will generally be heard after the board has considered and taken action on anything that is listed on that agenda. However, if the person signs up to speak about something that is listed on the agenda, the new law would require us to either allow them to speak during the public comment portion before you deliberate and take action, or during your consideration before you take action. Because now we have to let anyone speak on those items before action's taken.
Well, just one question, and I guess it's to the board as much as you. Why would we want to define, why would we want an exhibit to say this is what we normally do, and then do something different and have to tell somebody or let them guess why we're doing something different? And I would hope that we would always err on the side of the person speaking.
Clarify,
And
transparency.
let them express themselves and people make their own judgment about
Right, and I
what
think
they're
that
saying and how they're saying it.
some of the concern has been that if you do have a large number of folks show up that want to speak on a non-agenda item, you guys have clearly said, we want to continue to allow that at regular meetings. Or at least that was how I understood in August.
But
And
after
so-
the agenda.
But that we don't want to let that interrupt the flow of the meeting.
Right.
And so we've built in those things, and I would advise that that would be the decorum and the process and procedures that I would recommend you follow, with few exceptions. You know, for example, if it's questionable about whether the person is speaking, on an agenda item topic or not, if there's a fine line there, then we would err on the side of letting them speak at the beginning versus having that impact our ability to take action on the item, or there may be certain circumstances like where you're having to, let's say you want to go back into closed session at the very end of the meeting and come back and take action after that closed session. We wouldn't necessarily want to make that person wait until you've went into closed session and come back and take action and then have public comment. It may make more sense for you to have that end public comment before you go into your second closed session. So we do want to at least leave that room for flexibility,
Okay.
but outline in general, this is what you can expect if you would like to speak, and so that there is some point of reference for those folks.
I have a little concern. You said, and I don't know that I read this, but you said something about...
Go ahead.
Okay. That they could speak about the agenda item prior to our vote. You're not talking about it at a specific time, at any time during the course of the meeting? If
No.
we're getting ready to vote on something, they could speak on it?
No, what I was saying is the way that the new law was written with respect to public comment requires that prior to the board taking action on an item, those individuals that have signed up for public comment on that item have to be allowed to speak on
What
it.
we do now.
But in our designated period of time.
Okay.
Yes.
All
What
right,
we
well,
do
that
now.
was what was confusing to me.
Not like, okay, this item's going to be
Yeah.
talking about, who wants to talk about
No,
this?
but
Who's-
That's,
yeah.
For example,
I
it is
could see
confusing.
that being a very, very...
Yes.
Like when we make a motion and then, okay, any discussion,
No.
that's
Just
discussion with
us.
us.
Right,
not
yes,
the-
no, and so what I was saying there is like, for example, let's say you had 10 people sign up, or you had 11 people sign up, and they were all on an agenda item topic. It may make more sense, rather than having them all speak at the beginning of the meeting one after the other, to let them speak before you vote as you're going through and considering
I
those topics.
disagree with that.
I don't
agree
think
with
it
that
is.
at all.
I agree with, I think it's better to keep it
Let
all
'em have it.
together, but the law would require us to do it at one of those two times.
Well, I
is what was
say we
saying.
do it all at the
Then they can have a
beginning.
minute apiece, right?
Yes, and that's the way we've
No
set it
problem.
up. Is 3 minutes is the standard, and then it could be reduced to a minute if there were multiple, a large
I
number
don't
of
want to
folks.
see us have comments made before an action item. At the beginning is great, and we'll listen to it, but I will vote against if we decide to do it right before the item is discussed.
Yeah, and that's
I don't
not
think
the way
anybody wants to do that anyway. I don't think anybody wants to do it. The
No,
key
and
is,
that's not the way it's
the
drafted.
key is that the one thing we want to do, I think, and I talked to you about this, non-agenda item comes after the
Yeah,
agenda, at
yes.
the end of the meeting.
Yes.
And that's the main thing. If it's a non-agenda item, people are gone by then anyway.
Yeah.
But yes, that's still intact. That's the main thing I was concerned about.
Well, when you look at the sign-in sheet, you can pretty well determine what they're going, what they're
Oh,
going
yeah,
to talk
it says so on there, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and they would have to notify us what it is they want to speak about, so.
Prior to the meeting.
Yes.
How long prior to the meeting?
So we had made that adjustment in August. It was 3 hours.
what I
And we
thought.
had talked about, because we're moving it up 3 hours to give us adequate opportunity, to prepare and talk to those folks about what the procedure and whatnot is, that we would give them some sort of electronic means of signing up. So this has been drafted to allow emails at least 3 hours prior to the meeting to a
And the
specific
idea
address.
there is, if it has to do with something with principal schools or something else, it may be handled before it gets to our meeting. That's the main reason for that, right?
It could be for that, or it could be if, this has not been the case in our district, but in some districts, you will have people wrapped around the block. So it's also understanding how to plan for the meeting and the time for the meeting and things of that nature.
And I don't want discussion, I understand preparation, but that person can be pulled aside, as we've done in the past, basically. You need to talk to so-and-so, and that needs to be resolved in that manner, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
The main thing we want is transparency and for people to have their say. That's
Yeah.
the main thing.
Absolutely.
And I think we've done that.
We do,
but
yeah.
Anyway.
And that was the goal, was to continue to do that and just outline
And
those
to educate
procedures and to
others
educate,
how to do it.
and have it all, in writing and flowing with TASB's recommendations and continuing kind of the practices that we've set out.
Okay? Any other questions? Thank you, Jody.
You're welcome.
We're going to adjourn to closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551074 for the purpose of considering evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer, employee, or to hear complaints or charges against a public officer or employee concerning matters related to the superintendent's recommendation to hire administrative personnel and/or the superintendent's recommendation related to renewals, non-renewals, and termination of contracts for professional personnel. 551.074 for the purpose of considering matters related to the superintendent's evaluation, superintendent's contract, and related actions. 551.071 to consult with district attorneys concerning matters on which the attorney's duties of the district under the Code of Professional Responsibility clearly conflicts with the Texas Open Meeting Act. To seek the advice of attorneys about pending or contemplated litigation or settlement offer, or to consider legal advice regarding items specifically listed on the agenda. 551.072 for the purpose of discussing the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. We'll reconvene at 7 o'clock. Welcome, everybody. This is what you call a full house. Good way to start the new year. There we go. We have special recognition. Dr. Powell.
All right. Well, good evening, and I'm glad everyone's here to witness this because January is a very special month. It's Board Appreciation Month. So tonight we join other school districts across the state of Texas in honoring members of our school board. And we are very blessed here in Pasadena ISD, and we know that. So join me in watching just a short video that shows some of our memories of this year, as well as a message from some of our stakeholders. And our most important ones, of course, are our children. I think you'll be okay. Oh, that's not the right video, is it? School board? Wrong video, Eric, sorry. We need the one that Troy's department did.
No bid.
I'll read this while they're getting it up. Collectively, for those of you that don't know, we have over 140 years of service here at this school board, so here we go. Go ahead and go. So like I said before, and in the video you can see, 140 years, that's amazing. I'm not sure many school districts can say the same, but their longevity and commitment to our students and our staff here in Pasadena ISD is to be celebrated. And again, our board is consistently not only supporting, but making sure the financing is there for innovative programs across the district, and people are taking notice, so we're really proud of that. Just so, in case you didn't hear, this year our school board, Pasadena ISD, was named to one of the top 5 honor boards in the state of Texas, so we're really proud of that. It's just another testament to their hard work and their dedication to serving students each and every day. So we know that success of our staff and our students is being supported daily by our school board, and we're certainly grateful for that. Some achievements in their time on the board is raising our graduation rate to over 90% over the last 10 years, and at one time it was at 67%, just to give you an idea of the hard work. Expanding our Connect, or our personalized program, to over 40 campuses, which is now the largest in the nation. Students have earned over 3,500 CTE, those career and tech industry recognized certification. That was up 37% from the year before. And of course, we have 400 CTE students who are advancing, just recently finding out to state competitions, and of course, we expect them to go on to national competitions. Lots of multiple state and national business awards for financial transparency. 371 advanced placement scholars, which some of you are here tonight, and we're going to be honoring you. And just this year alone, over $4.5 million in grants. So we're proud of that. Met standard from the Texas Education Agency, and being named one of the best communities for music education. There you go, Linda, for 13 consecutive years. Is that right? All right, 13 consecutive years. And I could go on and on and on with countless student, teacher, staff awards, campus awards, but I will end there just to say that we have one of the best boards in the state of Texas. I think they are the best board. They have the heart for kids. They care about our children. They care about this community. They're definitely doing it for the right reasons, because if you haven't heard, they get paid $0.00 to do this job. And so we really appreciate them, and on behalf of our students and on behalf of our staff and our community and the parents that we serve, thank you for for helping our children soar to success in Pasadena ISD. So join me in thanking our board.
Well, I will say thank you very much because I'm pleased to serve with this group of people who put kids first. But really, we rely on the superintendent and her team to direct this district in academic excellence and everything else. And so really the gratitude and the honor goes to all the people who do all the work.
Absolutely.
You've proven to us that you can do it, and we support you, and we have your back, and you've had ours, and we appreciate it very much.
So if I could ask special permission, if we could rearrange and have public comments and then come back to special recognition, because we have two people that want to also honor you tonight.
Go ahead.
So we have permission for that. So we're going to go into our public comments, and we have first, we have Miss Angie Wells with Congresswoman Garcia. If you'll come up and make your presentation at this time.
Thank you, Superintendent Powell. Congresswoman has sent me on her behalf as a representative to let the school board know how much she appreciates you and all the hard work you do. There are certificates at your desk as a testament of that appreciation, and a short video that we'd like to present. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. This is your Congresswoman and neighbor, Sylvia Garcia, with a special message in honor of School Board Recognition Month. I want to send my heartfelt apologies for being unable to join you today as we recognize our school board members. I wish I could be there to personally thank each and every one of you for your commitment to our students and their educational success. Because of the work you do, our students are becoming the future generation of leaders in our great state of Texas. I join students, parents, and teachers in thanking you for your service to our community. Congratulations y muchas felicidades. Know that I'm thinking of you today as I continue to work for you and your families here in Washington, D.C. Take care and God bless.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We also have tonight Alejandra Cajero, who is here from Senator Carol Alvarado's office.
Good evening. My name is Alejandra, and I'm here representing the office of State Senator Carol Alvarado. We would like to thank the board members for all they do to ensure that the students of Pasadena ISD have all the tools that they need to excel in their academic success. I was lucky to attend Pasadena ISD schools all throughout my academic career. Go Mavs! Yes. So I know firsthand the hard work that our administrators put in to make sure that we, become the future and may one day be in your seats.
That's right.
Well, thank you for your inspiration and for all that you do. On behalf of Senator Alvarado, I have dropped off some certificates to say thank you.
Thank you. So thank you for letting us rearrange, but if we could go back to special recognition, we've got a lot of great students here tonight that we want to say thank you to as well. So I will bring forward Carey Flanagan, Instructional Specialist for Social Studies, who has some really exciting news tonight.
Good evening, school board members. The annual Save Texas History Contest, sponsored by the Texas General Land Office, asks students to consider what history in your community is worth saving. Open to all 4th and 7th grade students across the state, the contest provides students with the opportunity to showcase their communities and draw attention to their own vision of Texas history. This year, we're so proud to announce that the 7th grade State of Texas Grand Prize winner is our own Aiden Williams. While Aiden was unable to attend today, Aiden is in Miss Amy Schultz's class at South Houston Intermediate School. Aiden's essay, Freedmantown Bricks, highlights Houston's historic 4th Ward and the area known as Freedmanstown. Aiden writes, the history of the Freedmantown Bricks shows how resourceful the freed slaves were when faced with challenging times. We need to preserve as much of this history as possible. Aiden was awarded $500 and a Texas state flag. Also winning state finalist from South Houston Intermediate School was Anastasia Inawi from Ms. Schultz's class as well. Anastasia's essay recognized Firehouse Number 3 in Galveston, which was the first firehouse in the city to integrate with African American firemen. According to Anastasia, we need to remember the firehouse and the people that pushed themselves past their limits to achieve their goals and all the dreams to get to where they are today. We would also like to express our appreciation for Texas history teacher Ms. Amy Schultz, campus coach Ms. Teresa Stanley, and Principal Jessica Swenson. Please stand and be recognized. We're grateful for their dedication to their students and their continued support for social studies in our district. Would the parents of Anastasia also please stand and be recognized? We appreciate your constant support and guidance for your children.
Beautiful certificate.
Congratulations, young lady. Awesome.
Great job. Congratulations. Please.
Great job. Let's hear it for her again. Now, I bet some are in the audience to recognize our AP scholars tonight. And just to let you know, to become an AP Advanced Placement Scholar, a student needs to perform well on multiple AP exams. And tonight, we're going to honor Pasadena ISD students who qualified as an AP Scholar with distinction. This is awarded by College Board to students who have an average, a minimum score of 3.5 on a 5-point scale on all of their AP exams and score 3 or more on at least 5 of these exams. So the 34 students invited tonight are 34 of the 60 PISD students who were recognized by College Board as AP Scholars with distinction. In addition, we had 261 students who were recognized as AP Scholars and 38 as AP Scholars with honor. A total of 359 PISD scholars were recognized by College Board, and again, that was too many to invite tonight, but we celebrated them, and they also received some monetary gains as you were part of those pep rallies and celebrations. But we do have tonight some of our best and brightest. So the first group of students that we're going to recognize are from the Dr. Kirk Lewis Career and Technical High School, and Dr. Tom Lee is here tonight to introduce those students.
Good evening, everyone. It's my honor and privilege to introduce to you our AP Scholars with Distinction. Our first one is Ethan Cristancho. He's a student in our Certified Nursing Assistant pathway. He intends to attend either University of Houston or University of Texas. He does plan to major in biology and then go on to attend medical school. He says he likes doing the usual teen things like play video games, but he's especially proud of his pet duck, Duck McGruff, that he cares for, and he has learned a great deal of responsibility from. Ethan's an outstanding, hardworking student destined for success. Our second student, Heaven De Leon, she's one of our top 10 students. She's undecided on the colleges that she wants. However, Columbia, Cornell, Stanford are on her short list, but she'll settle for UT Rice or U of H. Heaven plans to major in mechanical engineering and physics, and she is currently serving an internship at NASA, and her favorite thing about CTHS is the hands-on experience that she is gaining and the unique and valuable opportunities that she is given at CTHS. LeGrand Dudley is in our criminal justice pathway, and he'll be attending Rice as a Quest Bridge Scholarship Match student. What this means is he has earned a full ride scholarship to Rice University. He intends to pursue a career in criminal psychology and eventually become an attorney. He is motivated to be the best that he can be, and he is inspired by his classmates like Dia Patel. Who is next? She plans to attend the University of Texas in the fall and major in biochemistry and then apply to medical school. Dean wants to serve others by assisting them with their healthcare needs. She says one of her most valuable experience is getting an externship at Walgreens Pharmacy, where she's gained real-life experiences before she's even entered the field. Her experiences here at CTHS will help her move towards her goals.
Good evening. I'm proud to say that J. Frank Dobie High School served nearly 800 students with our AP program last year and administered more than 1,600 exams. From this, we're excited to have 14 AP scholars with distinction. They are Jeanette Calderon. Jeanette has been actively involved in the theater department for 4 years, where she has worked backstage and on stage for multiple plays and musicals. She is currently a part of the UIL One Act Play Company. Also, her short film, What's Left Behind, has been accepted into the UIL film competition. Jeanette has been accepted by the University of Houston, the University of Texas at Austin, Stephen F. Austin University, and Sam Houston State. She intends to major in film. Next, we have Sophia Colmenares. Sophia is a member of the Pasadena ISD robotics team, the Dobie Varsity Orchestra, the swim team, and a member of both the National Honor Society and the Hispanic Honor Society. Sophia participated in the biomedical research program at the UT Medical Branch in Galveston this past summer, for which she was awarded honors by that organization. She's interested in studying chemical engineering. She's been accepted by Princeton, University of Texas at Austin, Texas A&M, and Purdue. And just last night, she interviewed with MIT. So we'll see about that one. Next, we have Kwong Do. Kwong took 9 AP exams last year and self-studied for 3 of them, which means that he was not enrolled in a course, but prepared himself for those tests, and he earned a qualifying score in all 9 of those exams. In total, Kwong has taken 13 AP exams and received a qualifying score in all but 1. And just tonight I asked him if he was going to go back and get that 1, and he said he was fine with it. In his spare time, he likes to play the ukulele and eat slightly soggy cereal. He'll be majoring in aerospace engineering at the University of Texas at Austin this coming fall. And Kwong told me that if his bio was too short, I could mention that he has a love of candles. Next, we've got Kobe Thompson. Kobe competes in speech and debate, academic decathlon, and DECA. He is already state qualified in debate for original oratory, where he advocates for black entrepreneurship. In academic decathlon, he took 2nd place overall as an honors student in his district competitions. He has aspirations of getting into business and eventually politics, and hopes to go to Amherst or Dartmouth College. He has already been accepted into the University of Texas at Austin. And once in college, he hopes to double major in economics and political science with a minor in physics. Kobe also hopes to participate in political activism and volunteer work once in college. In his free time, he loves to watch movies, play chess, and play Dungeons and Dragons. And we have Cami Vo. Cami is in choir and currently an officer for that organization. She participates in extracurricular activities such as Key Club, theater arts, and was an athletic training assistant this year. She's been accepted to the University of Houston, Texas A&M, and the University of Texas at Austin. She plans to major in physical therapy. And in addition to these outstanding students, we also had 9 that could not join us tonight. Their names are Enoch Curiel, Alejandra Garcias, Kennedy Ho, Peter Hong, Irene Kim, Jorge Islas, Ashley Nguyen, Jessica Fu, and Twin Vu. Thank you.
Good evening, School Board, Dr. Powell, district and campus administrators, teachers, students, parents, family members, and community members. I'm Dr. Steve Martin, Assistant Principal at Pasadena High School, home of the Mighty Eagles. It is my pleasure to announce our AP Scholar with Distinction, Maria Prado. Maria is an early college high school student who is on track to graduate in 2021 with her associate's degree as well as her high school diploma. In addition to being a talented student with a strong work ethic, she also has a little more motivation to excel because her dad is the dean of our early college high school. Maria has a GPA of 5.48, is ranked number 1 in her class, and she has a black belt in Taekwondo. Maria aspires to attend UTMB, where she will major in nursing. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jennifer Guerrero, and I'm the assistant principal over at Pasadena Memorial High School. I would like to introduce our students. We had a total of 9 students that had the AP Scholars with Distinction. This evening, we have 3 of those students here with us. First, I would like to introduce Yesenia Rodriguez. Yesenia has a 4.37 GPA and is in the top 7% of her class. During her time at PMHS, she has successfully completed all levels of the dual language program. She's been accepted to both Texas Tech and University of Houston. She's leaning towards University of Houston. She'd like to major in biology and pursue a medical career and be a surgeon. We are very proud of Yesenia. Our next scholar with us tonight is Suzanne Trevino. Suzanne is ranked 7th with an overall GPA of 5.19. Suzanne is in our research and design program at PMHS, and she has her first science fair project this Friday that she's very proud of, and she's worked really hard for that, so we're excited to see her outcome for that. In the fall, she plans to attend either Texas A&M or the University of Texas in Austin. She plans on majoring in mechanical or aerospace engineering in hopes of improving chemical air navigation. The last scholar with us this evening is Mr. Andy Venancio Torres. Andy is ranked 2nd in his class with an overall GPA of 5.23. Andy is a member of the Mighty Maverick Marching Band, the National Honor Society, and the Federal Reserve Student Board. Andy will be attending Johns Hopkins University in the fall, and he will be majoring in mathematics and minoring in chemistry. The other AP Scholars with Distinction that were not able to come with us tonight are tied up either in our musical production or athletics and other school activities. So we have some busy kiddos out there, and I'd like to just tell you their names. It's Miss Carly Benson, Carly Blanton, Sarah Gillian, Jonah Mahan, Sean Robbins, Adam Tran, and Stephen Wynn. We are so proud of all of the students at Pasadena Memorial High School. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Catherine Rearick. I'm one of the assistant principals at Sam Rayburn High School, and it's my honor tonight to introduce you to our AP Scholars with Distinction. First of all, we have Magali Montero Valdez. She's been accepted to UT, Texas A&M, U of H. Right now, her top choice college is UT Austin, and she plans to major in chemical engineering. Next, we have Natalia Perez Navarro. She has been accepted to U of H, UT, A&M, San Jac, Seton Hall. She's also waiting to hear from University of Pennsylvania and Columbia. Right now, her top choice college is also UT Austin, where she plans to major in sociology. And our last scholar is Carla Rangel. She has been accepted to Georgetown University. She's also still waiting to hear from Princeton, Yale, and Rice. Right now, her top choice is Georgetown, where she plans to major in mathematics and political science, and she plans to be an immigration attorney. We are very proud of these three young ladies. The whole Rayburn Texan family congratulates you.
Good evening. I'm Carmela James. I'm the College Now coordinator at South Houston High School. And the person that I honor tonight, it looks very familiar, as she was recently honored as a National Hispanic Merit Scholar. Back again, Erica Guadalupe Acosta. Erica is ranked among the top 10 South Houston graduates for the class of 2020. Erica is a remarkable young lady who is consistently exuding an incredibly calm demeanor and a positive glass half full attitude. Erica plans to continue to wear red as she transitions to become a cougar at the University of Houston, majoring in psychology. Her hobbies include trivia, the arts, and cute things. Erica Guadalupe Acosta. Now, would all the parents, guardians, loved ones, and those responsible for these bright minds please stand and take a bow? We salute you as well. Thank you.
That's right.
What were you thinking about, Marshall, when you were juniors?
Don't even go there.
What did you have in mind for your career when you were a junior in high school?
I followed the contractor.
I wasn't thinking about it.
Okay, one more. Just go ahead and give me the second one.
All right, let's hear it again for our students. We're going to now transition to some staff member awards that we want to recognize. The Texas School Counselor Association sponsors a yearly intensive application process for school counselors who would like to showcase the great programs they're implementing across the state. Pasadena ISD has grown from one campus winning this award for the past 2 years to now 6 campuses receiving this honor for the 1920 school year. So Robin Harold is here, our counselor coordinator for Pasadena ISD, who will introduce these amazing staff members. And again, we have 6 groups of counselors who have won the 1920 Crest Award.
Thank you, Deanne, and the board for supporting our school counselors. We appreciate that. It's important work. So the Crest Award has nothing to do with toothpaste. It does stand for Counselors Reinforcing Excellence in the State of Texas. So we have several counselors that have done that. So schools across Texas who engage their professional school counselors, where they have the ability to provide the classroom guidance, the college and career readiness, and the social emotional skills that are needed to be academically successful in life and well prepared for life. So there are only 3 districts in the state of Texas who received more Crest Awards than PISD. So our 2019-2020 Crest winners are, I'm going to start with Schneider Middle School. They started everything. This is actually their 3rd year to receive the Crest Award, and they have empowered the rest of the group that you will see here tonight to win their award. So we're going to start with Danielle Knight and Maricela Escamilla. I want to give a special thank you to Danielle Knight, and her principal, Kristen Still, who allowed Danielle to come and meet with the other counselors and help us understand the process and complete the paperwork. So without her guidance, the rest of us couldn't have done this. So thank you so much, Danielle, for that. All right, our next school, under the leadership of Dan Ebley, is Tracy Skripka, Sherry Harris from Lonnie B. Keller Middle School.
Thank you for everything. Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thanks for what y'all do every day.
Thank you so much.
And for the last middle school, we have, under the leadership of Jorley Thomas, Deronda Preston, and Emily Ontiveros from Fred Roberts Middle School. I'm now going to ask the Director of Counseling, Karen McCarley, to introduce our elementary Crest Winners.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you.
Okay, keep in mind, not to downplay any of the work that our wonderful middle schools did, keep in mind that our elementary counselors do this all on their own. So without a partner in crime. Burnett Elementary, campus counselor Leticia Sanchez, with the support of her principal, Jay Lee. Campus counselor Elsa Garza, with the support of her principal, Michael Van Lonen. Oh, I'm sorry, A.B. Freeman Elementary. From Metter Elementary, campus counselor Tara Merida, with the support of her principal, Beverly Bolton. So at this time, if you are part of their home family that supports them or part of their school family that supports them, would you please stand up at this time and show them some support? Because without all of that support, they would not have been able to do that. So thank you again, campus principals.
Keep in mind, we didn't have a December meeting, so special recognitions piled up. And these are the best of our counselors, but also not to go unrecognized, Karen McCarley and Robin Harold. They are awesome support for our counseling in Pasadena ISD. So our last event for tonight for special recognition is interesting news when it has to do with saving some money. Vance Hamilton from TASB Buy Board is going to come up and make a recognition on behalf of TASB Buy Board.
Good evening, Dr. Powell and board. As you said, my name is Vance Hamilton. I'm with TASB and Buy Board. From the TASB board and staff, we would like to thank you, the board, for your time and commitment to public education in Texas. It's been recognized publicly and certainly well-deserved, we can tell. And to the staff as well, we'd like to thank you for your great work educating the students here at Pasadena ISD. And after the last presentation with the students, there's no doubt in that. I'm pumped up. So congratulations. That's just exciting. Buy Board is a purchasing cooperative overseen by TASB that allows school districts to purchase goods and services through an interlocal agreement. The cooperative helps districts by providing an easy and efficient way to procure needed school-related items at a very competitive rate. Not only does the Buy Board cooperative facilitate a quicker turnaround time, but the high volume results in deeper discounts for customers. Further, concerns regarding procurement rules and requirements can be negated since the cooperative adheres to the same regulatory guidelines as the district. The Buy Board cooperative has a long history of issuing rebates to members inside the state of Texas. Since 2006, in fact, we have rebated just over $49.7 million to our governmental membership, a claim no other Texas-based cooperative can make. The rebate is reflective of the program's value, benefit, and nonprofit administration. Pasadena ISD heavily uses the Buy Board cooperative and maintains an excellent working relationship with the district's purchasing department under the direction of Derek Gillard.
and standing back. I'm pleased to announce that for the fiscal year 2019, Pasadena ISD has earned a rebate from Buy Board nearly in the amount of $38,000. Congratulations to Derek and his staff, as well as Dr. Powell and the rest of her staff. So congratulations, and we're honored to present you all with a check this evening.
Come on up, Derek.
Get
All
your money,
right.
Derek.
Woohoo, Derek. Yes, congratulations.
Congratulations, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Derek.
Good job.
Yes, sir. Enjoy.
Thank you. We needed that.
Yes, ma'am.
Keep coming back.
And board members, that ends our special recognition for tonight.
We're going to start our agenda on business tonight, and if you're here for someone else and would like to sit through our meeting, we'd love to have you. If you'd rather not, then you're certainly welcome to leave at this point. First on the agenda is consent agenda.
Mr. President, I move we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Morgan, second by Mr. Roberts. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of administrative personnel. Ms. Morgan.
Mr. President, I move that we approve addenda pages A and B.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion passes. Ms. Morgan.
Yes, I'd like to introduce these two. Is Lenny Abraham here? Lenny, hello. Lenny, we're welcoming you back home. Glad you're here. You have just been named to the position of Counselor Parent Coordinator at Atkinson Elementary, and we congratulate you. Would you introduce your family that you brought?
I have my mom and dad, and then my sister and brother-in-law and nephews are in the back.
Awesome, awesome. And Annette Nicole Stubbs. Annette, hello. Annette has been named Instructional Specialist for RISE in Curriculum and Instruction. And we congratulate you in your new position. Do you have family with you?
My husband, Will Stubbs, and our 3 children. Our parents. I have my other family that's here, and my new RISE family.
Awesome, awesome.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you. Consideration of possible approval of amendment to superintendent's contract and related actions.
Mr. President, I move that the board extend the superintendent's contract for 1 contract year.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Morgan, second by Mr. Roberts. Any comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes.
Thank you.
We kind of like her out there. She's a keeper.
Deanna went back and forth.
It went back. You were the decision maker?
I had to stand up and make some powerful statements.
Oh, yeah, right.
The ticker. It's just-
Don't believe him. If he made the statements, they weren't exactly.
Hey, don't paraphrase.
Educational section, consideration and possible approval of revised ADA snapshot time for selected early college high school program students in grade 11.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Morgan, second by Mr. Hernandez. Any comments or questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of 2019-2020 Texas 21st Century Community Learning Centers, Cycle 9, Year 4, additional grant award of $191,061, increase the grant total to $1,800,000.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Morgan, second by Ms. Sullivan. questions or comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes.
Great department does it
That's
again.
right. Keep on going. Consideration of possible approval of 2019-2020 Environmental Defense Fund, EDF, additional grant award in the amount of $22,000, and the approval of the corresponding EDF amended grant agreement.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any questions or comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval for career and technical education students to participate in national competitions during the spring and summer of 2020.
So move.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Sullivan, second by Mr. Bailey. Any comments or questions?
And we'll keep y'all updated on who those students will be as we get those results, but we expect to have a great year in this area.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval for the J. Frank W. High School Choir to travel to Orlando, Florida to perform and to participate in a clinic from Friday, April 24th, 2020 through Wednesday, April 29th, 2020.
So move.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Morgan, second by Mr. Hernandez. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Student achievements are in our book. It shows all the AP scholars and all the things that are happening around the district that our kids are just doing outstanding well, but it's thanks to all those that teach them and work with them. Policy section, consideration of possible adoption of TASB, localized policy, update 114, affecting local policies designated on the attached instruction sheet.
So move.
Moved by Mr. Morgan, second by Mr. Hernandez. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration of possible adoption of local district update 2020.01 affecting BED local and BED exhibit.
So move.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Financial section, consideration and possible approval of budget amendments.
I move that we approve the budget amendments. Can we do both November and December together, or do they need to go separate? November 1st.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any questions or all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of budget amendments for December.
So move.
Motion by Ms. Morgan, second by Mr. Hernandez. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of comprehensive annual financial report for 2018-2019 school year.
And we have a presentation, board members, from our Whitley Penn team, and Selena Cedez will be here doing that presentation. How'd I do on the name?
Perfect.
Oh, good.
Sorry, what?
Selena Cedez.
Cerez?
Cedez.
I like that.
Thank you.
Do you have this little book? They don't, do they have this?
No.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we do.
The little one?
We do.
Wait.
I guess it's just up here.
No, it was.
Oh, go ahead.
It was in our packet. I'm pretty sure.
No, the big one was in
I thought it was. Maybe it wasn't.
It's the big one.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Oh, I got the big one.
Yeah. This one.
It's right there, you got it in your hand.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well,
So it'll be
we
up
have
there.
the presentation.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, President Kendrick, members of the board, and Superintendent Powell. We're pleased to present the results of the fiscal year 2019 audit and federal single audit as well. We show the engagement team here. Laura Lynch is the senior manager. She's also present in the audience. Sylvia Garcia is the engagement partner. He was unable to be here, so I am filling in for him. Ora Adam and Gustavo Guzman and Corbett Nixon were also the team members on site.
The audit process is quite cumbersome, and we started in the spring and early summer with our risk assessment and planning. When we came on site for 2 weeks in the summer, we looked at key controls, tested those key controls, all to determine the nature and extent of our audit procedures. After the district closed its books, after August 31st, 2019, we corroborated and confirmed information that was all to gain sufficient audit evidence, and all in an effort to issue an audit opinion. So there's 3 types of opinions that you can receive in an audit, and they worsen as you go from right to left, and so everyone wants to get an unmodified or clean opinion. So we're pleased to report that Pasadena ISD has earned an unmodified or clean opinion, and we did conduct our audit in accordance with generally accepted auditing standards and government auditing standards, and it is the highest level of assurance on a set of financial statements. Had we had any significant deficiencies or material weaknesses, we'd be required to report those to you here tonight and within this report. And again, we're pleased to report that we didn't have any internal control issues nor any instances of non-compliance. That summary can also be found in the large booklet on pages 165 and 166 of the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report. Because you do spend more than $750,000 on an annual basis, you're required to have a single audit. The district spent $82.4 million in federal awards this year, and every year we select major programs, major federal programs for testing. This year we selected Title I, Title II, immediate aid to restart school operations, all related to Hurricane Harvey, emergency impact aid, and then also your FEMA funds. Those results are also shown on pages 169 through 172. Because it is a separate audit, we're required to issue an opinion on these federal programs. And again, we're issuing an unmodified opinion over the compliance, the district's compliance with these federal requirements. No instances of non-compliance, and nor did we have any material weaknesses or significant deficiencies. If we look at your financial statement highlights, this is everything that the district owns and everything that the district owes. So this looks very similar to the financial statements of a corporation, and so it's different from what you see in the general fund, capital projects, and all of your other governmental fund financial statements. Your total assets were just under $1.4 billion, with your total liabilities also short of $1.4 billion. The majority of your assets are made up of capital assets net of depreciation of about $900 million. Your other non-current liabilities is your long-term debt or your bonds payable with the associated premiums, but there's also 2 liabilities that are very large, and they're dissected here on purpose because they don't represent a check that you have to write tomorrow to TRS. The net pension and net OPEB liabilities are based on your participation in TRS and TRS care. And your proportionate share is determined based on the contributions compared to the contributions of other school districts, community colleges that contribute into TRS and TRS care. So this year, your proportionate share of the net pension and net OPEB liabilities were $215 and $243 million respectively. And you'll also see that increased from the prior year due to assumption changes and changes in the discount rate. You have no control over these numbers. They're simply given to you, and it's a reporting mechanism. Like I said before, you don't have to write a check for this, but you will continue to pay into TRS and TRS care at the statutorily determined rates. TRS is going to have to figure out how they will fund these liabilities, and you will either you'll pay more, the employees will pay more, or the state will pick up more of this liability. Overall, the district's net worth is $102 million. And so now if we look at your governmental funds, you'll see that the general fund or your operating fund increased by $54 million. And so that ended the year at $178 million. Your debt service fund is there to pay your principal and interest payments on your long-term debt. You actually decreased that fund balance by $1.9 million, ending the year at $30 million. Your capital projects fund decreased by $19 million, but that is the purpose of those funds, to spend down the fund balance as you issue bonds and construct facilities and purchase furniture and equipment. Your non-major funds are specifically your special revenue funds, your federal programs, state programs, and other local funds, and those typically break even, and you'll see that you decrease by $2.8 million in this area with an ending total fund balance of 11.3. Child nutrition is also included in this non-major fund type. So total ending fund balance for all your governmental funds were $336 million. If we compare your general fund budget to the actual results, you'll see that you exceeded your revenues by $33 million. You were under budget by $33 million on your expenditures. You added to fund balance $54 million. And so your ending fund balance, as we saw on the previous slide, ended at $178 million. You'll see.
Applause for that.
Yes. Now, I will say that includes a one-time payment of the Senate Bill 500. There's also some additional revenues from FEMA, impact aid, all related to Hurricane Harvey. You had some expenditures that you recognized in previous years, but this year you're finally recognizing the revenue. So it's not, the expenses or expenditures are not matched by the revenue, so it looks a little bit skewed. And also those one-time payments are important because it's a one-time payment, it won't be recurring.
So they're saying don't expect 54 million
Exactly.
I think that's right. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay,
This is
But
an
the
unusual
whole thing
year.
in our account.
That's
right.
And so you'll see the trend since fiscal year 2015. It's a positive trend with $142 million in unassigned fund balance. And what that equates to is if we compare it to operating expenditures, your fund balance, unassigned fund balance, that which is available for appropriations, would take you about 105 days in operating expenditures. And the way I like to see it is if all revenues were to cease, how long would unassigned fund balance last? And that would be 105 days. GFOA recommends that you have 90 days in unassigned fund balance, and then the red zone or danger zone is 30 days, which would equate to $40.6 million for Pasadena ISD. You have House Bill 3 coming up that every district is grappling with and trying to make sense of. So you have this fund balance to support you as you're navigating through House Bill 3. So you may see, like Superintendent Powell said, you may not see a $54 million increase like you saw this year. And so you'll see some changes also with state aid, property taxes as you're working through those estimates. There are some required communications that we have to cover here tonight. There are accounting policies that meet all industry standards and follow generally accepted accounting principles. As auditors, we like a piece of paper, but there are estimates included in your figures. State aid, the allowance for uncollectible taxes receivable, the useful lives of capital assets, and then, of course, what I spoke about earlier, the net pension and OPEB liabilities are all an estimate based on what TRS and its actuaries provide us. There are judgments made by management, and all of those we deemed reasonable. We didn't encounter any difficulties in performing the audit. We want to thank your management for being accommodating, and any requests that we had, it was given to us promptly. Any corrected or uncorrected misstatements, we'd be required to report to you here tonight, but we have none to report. Any disagreements with management over the application of accounting principles would be required to be reported, but there are none. The last piece of audit evidence is the management representation letter, where management tells us that they've given us everything to perform our audit and nothing has been withheld, and that was provided to us in order to release this report. Had Pasadena ISD's management consulted with other accountants as far as opinion shopping, we'd be required to report that here to you tonight. And as far as we're aware, that did not occur. From time to time, we provide guidance on certain applications on certain items, but our responses were not a condition to our retention. So if the answer is no, the answer is no. And I think your management knows that. So if we felt compelled that we had to answer a certain way, we'd be required to report that to you here today as well. Any questions for me?
You know what? Great job.
Great audit.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Excellent.
That was the best
Absolutely.
explanation I've heard of the audit. And I was just sitting here amazed. You did a great job.
Okay, thank you.
Sure did.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts.
Thank you, Carl, and
Thank you.
your staff. Excellent.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. we've already done that. Do we have to approve that? I guess we do.
Yes. So you have to take action now.
Okay, did we have a motion on that to
No,
approve?
no.
Okay, we didn't have one.
Okay, I move that we approve the comprehensive annual financial report for 2018-19.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any comments or questions? I think we've all said so. Thank you very much. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of resale of foreclosed properties for delinquent taxes.
So moved.
0 Georgia Street.
So moved.
I think Nella beat you to
Okay,
it.
second.
Sullivan. Ms. Sullivan, motion. Ms. Morgan, second. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Operations section. Consideration and possible approval allowance expenditure authorization, AEA number .06, for the new Red Bluff Elementary School replacement project.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any comments or questions?
Question.
Yes, sir.
Why is this not in the construction update or an add-on to the contract versus the operations? Is the school functional or?
This is the new construction of Red Bluff. You want to just come out and talk about the specifics of it?
Well, no, I know that, but the school's not functional yet. Why wouldn't it be an add-on to the contract versus a operational expense? Why would you be taking it out of operations?
I think it's a new requirement.
Part of the contractor's or the owner's contingency. It's a distributed antenna system that's required by the fire department now.
Sure.
So we factor that into our allowance, and then we're taking.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have no problems with the expenditure or the money. What I'm wondering is why it wouldn't be, why it's already in the operations side instead of the construction side. An add-on, an add.
This is the construction side. I mean,
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but it says operational sections, and normally that covers your standard maintenance in your school. Is that correct? Is that wrong?
No, the operational section is usually all of Kevin's stuff, whether it's the operational side or the construction side. And then the update is just kind of the progress report. I believe so.
All right, but this wouldn't be an additional add-on, it's
just coming out of the allowance.
I don't think that's correct, that's fine.
Maybe I don't understand the question.
Not that I was curious about it before, I am now. Did you say you factored that in?
We did.
The contingency fund on
We
the
did.
front end of it?
We did.
I mean, this is not a surprise to
No,
anybody?
not at all.
Okay.
Operations.
Any other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of allowance expenditure authorization, AEA number 07, for the new Red Bluff Elementary School replacement project.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of the budget and design service agreement for the Pasadena High School Culinary Arts Kitchen Renovations
So
Project.
moved.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mr. Hernandez. Any comments or questions?
Question.
Board members, go ahead, Ms. Sullivan.
You go ahead.
Okay, I was just going to say, we have numerous kitchens that need to be updated and replaced, so we're going to use Pasadena High School as a model for that. Tanya has been at my door repeatedly, and I appreciate her for that, advocating for her programs. And with what you just saw from the fund balance impact that we've had just this year, we wanted to prioritize that as one of our needs. So you have your wonderful chef here waiting to hear your response, and of course your wonderful PHS principal, but we're going to use them as a model and hopefully have funds in the future to address some other needs.
Good.
Go ahead, Ms. Sullivan.
My question is this: is this renovation going to be of the present kitchen, or are we going to locate it in another area of the school? I know that kitchen is so old, and I know how bad it's needed.
It is, yes. My understanding at this time is that it will remain in the current location.
But it'll be a tear out,
It
complete
will be
tear
a
out.
total gut
And
job.
we've got Create here shaking their head yes as well.
Yes.
And we will have a new state-of-the-art kitchen.
And so
A happy chef.
And so what are our plans for feeding our students during this time frame? Or are we going to do it during the summer?
This is our culinary arts. So this is our students will be using a different location while this is going on.
I don't know that that's totally been decided. However, once we receive approval and can meet again with the architects and kind of come up with a timeline, we'll be able to determine whether we're going to be able to start immediately or push this to a summer project.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. I noticed we're doing 7.5 again. Is that because it's a renovation, or is that their standard rate, or what is? Nobody, the last week, we haven't paid 7.5
Right.
since we did the renovation at Red Bluff, so what?
South Houston High School, yeah, the science renovation is 7.5, but that's typical. That's a percentage for major renovation.
That's what, for a renovation.
For the last 10 years.
If I talk to the architects, everybody's going to tell me 7.5 on renovations.
Major renovation, it's a small scope and a lot of work.
Okay.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no?
No.
Motion passes. Consideration of possible approval of air monitoring site agreement between the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, TCEQ, and the Pasadena Independent School District.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration of possible approval of the award of CSP number 20B-029LP to Meritage Homes of Texas LLC, and acceptance of the letter of intent from Meritage Homes of Texas LLC for the offer to exchange real property with PISD.
So move.
Motion made, Ms. Morgan, second by Mr. Hernandez. Any comments or questions?
Do we have any idea how soon we might start construction?
We have some contract to be written up and some steps to take with the city, so how soon would you think?
I would say right now we're shooting for bidding it in April, but we've got to redesign the site and do some work with the city.
And then construction soon after that?
Yes.
Okay.
My understanding is we don't have to do as much preparation on this side as we would the other one.
Shovel ready.
Very little detention, it's already provided for, a lot less trees to clear. So.
Sure. Thank you, Kevin.
Who's the architect doing this one?
Charles.
That's Charles. Yeah,
GPD.
What are they doing this? What is it? What are they doing this for? Design work for? Do you know offhand?
Percentage?
Yeah.
Would be our typical 6.3.
Okay, thank you.
Are we going to stay on track with what we had originally finished date?
Not with the new site. We've got quite a few setbacks, so probably 10 to 12 months from the original schedule.
Do we have the plat on that?
No. On the new piece?
Yes.
No, because we haven't even done the complete contract yet. This is just a letter of intent.
Okay.
Any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Construction update is in the book. Any questions? Set the date for the next regular meeting, Tuesday, February the 23rd.
Move that we approve the meeting date, February 25th.
I can't read. That's what I get for taking my glasses off. Gee, is that a second? Thanks.
Second.
Okay, sorry about that. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. This meeting is adjourned.